Welcome back. I'm Steve, and I'm working on this old Land Rover 90. This video is going to seem a bit odd and out of place because I haven't yet published all the videos that go before it that get to this stage, but I'm a little stuck, and so I'm putting this video out there as a cry for help because, well, let me explain a little bit and we'll see how it goes. This car I bought at auction. It's a 1984 Land Rover 90. It is absolutely factory bog standard, okay? It has the 2.25 litre petrol engine, and it had a fire under the bonnet, which is how come I ended up buying it at auction. This is typical of what came out. As you can see, it's a mess and completely unsalvageable. So, guys at Autosparks have sent me new wiring harnesses, which I'm connecting up, and I've also had to replace every single hose under the bonnet. All the fuel hoses, vacuum hoses, everything. As I wire it up, I'm coming across some issues, and this is where I want your help. This is the Weber twin downdraft carburetor. It's got two solenoids on it. One which is here, next to the fuel inlet, and one which is here. Now, I understand that this one is an isolator which is powered when you turn the ignition on, and this cuts off the fuel to the float chamber. Whereas, excuse my hand, this one here supplies a free flow of air into the engine when you lift off the throttle and stops the overrun. Stops it popping and banging when you take your foot off the accelerator. Now, unfortunately, the guys at Autosparks, and none of my information I have here, tell me how to wire this. But I do understand you can just unscrew it and blank it off. But this is where I need your help. I need you, if you happen to have something like a 1984 2.25 litre petrol Land Rover 90 or 110 or any of those other derivatives that's got the same carburetor with the same two solenoids on it, can you have a look at yours and tell me, email me if you like, steve@stevesteel.co.uk, email me a picture of how yours is connected up. If you've got a wiring diagram, if you've got any inspiration at all that can help me fix this, I'd be thrilled. All right. Otherwise, as you're still with us, let's just show you what else is going on here and what we've done. Engine bay is coming back together again. I know the engine runs. I've already tried that. Inside the car, we have ripped out the old wiring harness. New one is kind of hung in place at the moment. We've got a new fuse box, we've got relays, we've got all that kind of stuff. I need to do some work over there with it needs a new ignition, lock, barrel, key, and bits and pieces, which I need to order. But that's basically going all right. We've got battery tray all sorted out, batteries in there. I've got a new set of bracketry for it all. All this ends okay. I have done a load of work on both front doors. I put in new bottoms on both front doors. You wouldn't even know, would you? You wouldn't know I'd done it. But I was determined to salvage the door skins because at the moment this has got all its original door skins on it. and they look the part. They got the right kind of patina, and so the back door was a real issue. Here it is. This is what came out of the back door. I think I did do a video of changing this, so you can see what came out. That's the state it was in. All right, and now we've got the original skin on the outside, as you can see, the original glass, original lock mechanism. I stuck it in the sandblaster and cleaned it all up, and the whole new, fully rebuilt frame on the original skins. The new liner, and I've tidied this up. New rubber seals in there. I've put one of these bumpers on the back of it, which I quite like. It's completely unnecessary. The spare wheel carrier I have sandblasted and powder coated all of that, so that's ready to go back on. I have discovered though, and this car didn't have it, that if you've got that kind of spare wheel carrier, there should be a reinforcing bracket over here and over here, which weren't fitted and are still not fitted, but as soon as I've discovered that they do exist, I'll fit them. I will get hold of a pair of them and paint them up to match and fit them, so that the back door doesn't end up in the same situation again. But otherwise, it's coming together. It will go again. Unfortunately, the lovely guys at Autosparks sent me the wrong chassis harness, so I'm just about to pull that out and send it back to them so they can send me the right one. They sent me one which assumes that the fuel tank is hung between the chassis rails in the back, and of course this is an early 90 and the fuel tank is underneath the driver's seat and it's got an electric fuel pump. So it was the wrong harness for the chassis, so they're going to swap that and send a new one. That'll be with me next week, and hopefully then I can put out this entire video. But in case you've forgotten what I'm after, I'm wiring up this engine, and it's all to do with the circuit for this solenoid, whether we delete it and blank it off, or if we wire it in as it's supposed to be. Let me know, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.